ادع إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة وجادلهم بالتي هي أحسن.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه كما يحب ربنا ويرضاه. Today inshallah we're going to begin الدرس الرابع عشر. الدرس الرابع عشر, the 14th lesson. So what's going to happen is we're going to read the passage and we're going to pause at each new concept or topic brought in this lesson and explain inshallah as we go along. So Hamid is going to be asking these group of young lads some questions, and they're going to be speaking and answering these questions, and through this passage the author is going to introduce some new topics as we mentioned. طيب, الفتية, the young lads, they say Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. Hamid, wa alaykum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and peace and mercy of Allah and His blessings be upon you. Ahadul fitya. Ahad means one of. One of the young lads says. So Ahadul fitya says, Kayfa haluka ya ammi. How are you, O my uncle? The word am, we translated it as paternal uncle. Paternal uncle. Sometimes in the Arabic language, am is also used as a form of respect. When you are referring to someone who is old or around the same age as your father, you would say am. كيف حالك يا عم? Although he's not really your uncle. So it's just used to show respect. كيف حالك يا عمي? How are you, my uncle? Hamid says, أنا بخير والحمد لله. أنا بخير والحمد لله. I am well and all praise belongs to Allah. والحمد لله. كيف حالكم? And how are you all? كيف حالكم? And how are you all? So this is one of the first things that we learn in this lesson, the usage of kum. Kum is the ضمير متصل of أنتم. So previously we have already learnt when you are speaking to a masculine, when you are addressing one masculine, you say anta. Anta. When you're addressing one female, you say anti. You say anti. So these are the dhamir munfasil, the detached pronouns for second person, masculine and feminine, singular. Anta, you. Anti, you. Masculine, feminine. The plural of anta is antum. Antum. Antum is you all, a group of males. The plural form of anti is antunna. Antunna. The plural form of anti is antunna, you all, a group of women if you're addressing them. So these are the munfasil version. Munfasil means detached. The muttasil version of anta is an attached ka. We affix a ka to the end of the word, ka, with a fatha. That means you. Yeah, the muttasil version of anta is a kaf with a fatha. The muttasil version of anti is a kaf with a kasra. So this is Baytuka, your house, you're talking to a man. Baytuki, your house, you're talking to a female. Okay. The muttasil version of antum is kum. Kum. Baytukum. Kayfa halukum? How are you all doing? The muttasil version of antunna is kunna. Kunna. Kayfa halukunna? How are you all doing? A group of women. So this is what we learn in this lesson. We learn the munfasil version and the muttasil version of antum and antunna as well. So when he says in the lesson, كيف حالكم? He's addressing the fitya, the group of young lads. How are you all doing? من أنتم? The munfasil version now is used. Who are you all? أحدهم, one of them says, نحن أبناء الدكتور موسى. We are the sons of Dr. Musa, الدكتور موسى. So أبناء الدكتور, this is مضاف إليه. Musa is coming as the badal for الدكتور. So the doctor is Musa. We are the sons of Dr. Musa. So these young lads are all brothers. They are all brothers. If they are the sons of the same person, they are brothers. So we have here a doctor. The word doctor can mean a medical professional, someone who is actually a doctor in medicine, and it can also mean someone who holds a doctorate. So we are the sons of Dr. Musa. Hamid says, أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا. These are words that comfort and welcome a person. They are welcoming words. Ahlan means ahl, which means family. So it's like you're saying to the person, don't worry, you have come to a people who are like your family. We are like family now. Sahlan comes from the word sahl, which means easy. So here the meaning is everything will be made conveniently easy for you. Wa marhaban, welcome. So sometimes you might find ahlan by itself, ahlan, or marhaban by itself, or ahlan wa sahlan by itself. So all of these are used to welcome a person, welcoming someone and making them feel comfortable and removing any awkwardness. Ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaban, welcome. Abukum sadiqi, your father is my friend. Abukum sadiqi, your father is my friend. Notice how kum came. So this is one of the focuses in this lesson. Abukum, your, all of you, father is my friend. Aina ammukum, where is your paternal uncle? Al-Shaykh Isa, Shaykh Isa. Where is your uncle, Shaykh Isa? أحدهم, one of them says, هو مريض. هو مريض, he is sick. هو الآن في المستشفى. He is in the hospital right now. Or right now he is in the hospital. هو الآن في المستشفى. He is in the hospital right now. This is how we'll translate into English. Although literal translation is he right now is in the hospital. الآن right now. Hamid says, شفاه الله. شفاه الله, may Allah cure him. Shafa, this is a new verb that has not been covered previously. The fi'l is a fi'l madi, past tense verb, and it's written like this. Shafa, three-lettered past tense verb. Shafa. Shafa means to cure. And this shafahullah, this is a jumla fi'liya. It's a verbal sentence because it starts with a verb. Just like the jumla ismiya, we have a setup. There's an asl, original setup, where we have mubtada first and khabar. Likewise, in the jumla fi'liya, we have a original setup, which can change sometimes. So the original setup is that we have to have a fi'l first. We have a fi'l first. Then we have a fa'il. Then if the sentence requires an object, we have the object coming third. So fi'l, fa'il, maf'ulun bihi, if necessary. Not all sentences require maf'ulun bihi, as we mentioned previously. This shafa is transitive. It's muta'addi, so it does require a maf'ulun bihi. So shafa, who's the fa'il? Allahu. Allahu. Maf'ulun bihi is always mansoob. So amma, right? We're talking about the am. So it's going to be amma. Shafa Allahu amma kum, your uncle. Your uncle. So this is shafa Allahu ammakum. It's a dua. This dua is past tense, a past tense verb, right? Past tense verb. This is quite common. Past tense verb, we'll translate it literally as Allah cured your uncle. Shafa Allahu ammakum. Allah cured your uncle. But sometimes the past tense verb is used in du'as. And the reason why it's used in du'as is to bring that emphasis, as though Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is definitely going to cure him, inshallah. The hope is great that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is actually going to cure him. And the same with Jazakallahu khairan. Allah rewarded you with good. That's the literal translation. But it means may Allah reward you with good. As though Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is definitely able to do this. And we have great hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to do this. So this is why the Madi is used sometimes to make dua. So Shafallahu ammakum. May Allah cure your uncle. So now in this sentence we have a dhamir. A dhamir representing the am. The dhamir representing the am is who. May Allah cure him. So we have who. Who is representing the am. And we can also sometimes have a dhamir to represent the fa'il as well. But in this case, the fa'il is not a dhamir. It's a normal noun. So we did mention that fi'il, fa'il, maf'ulun bihi. However, sometimes the setup can be changed. Like in this case, when the fa'il comes as a normal noun, and the fa'il comes as a normal noun, and the maf'ulun bihi comes as a dhamir, it's wajib, it's a must for the dhamir to go before the fa'il. It has to go before the fa'il. It has to join onto the fi'il directly. Because dhamir muttasil, the attached pronouns, can't stand by themselves. They have to attach something. So they are always going to attach the fi'il, the verb. So it's going to be like this. And this alif, whenever something attaches to it, it becomes a long alif. It's written like this. So we have shafahu. So now this is the attached form. You either have it with a line or you have it like this if it's following one of those 6 letters which don't attach with the letters after it. So they are alif, dal, dhal, ra, za, and waw. If any of those letters come, just like the ta marbuta we mentioned previously, it doesn't attach. So we use this form. Shafahu, and then Allah comes after. So shafa is the fi'il, the ha is the maf'ulun bihi, is the object, Allahu is the fa'il. Shafahu Allah. So whenever the maf'ulun bihi comes as a dhamir muttasil, it has to attach to the fi'il, which means it's going to come before the fa'il. Shafahu Allahu, may Allah cure him. So this is a jumla fi'liya, may Allah cure him. طيب, hope that's understood. Shafahu Allahu, may Allah cure him. Man hadhihi الطفلة التي معكم? Who is this young infant child? And it's a female child. التي, who is معكم, with you. Man hadhihi الطفلة التي معكم? Who is this young girl who is with you? One of them says, هي أختنا. She is our sister. هي أختنا. She is our sister. So نحن, we have نحن. This is the munfasil version. The muttasil version of نحن is na. أختنا, our sister. أختنا, our sister. And we had ana in this sentence also, in this passage. Ana means I. The muttasil version of ana is ya al-mutakallim, which has to be preceded by a kasra here. Kasra comes here. Before attaching the ya mutakallim, which is sakin, there's a kasra before it. The last letter of the word is attaching to takes a kasra. So bayti, abi, sadiqi. هي أختنا. She is our sister. Hamid says, masmuha. Masmuha. What's her name? One of them says, ismuha Layla. Her name is Layla. أين بيتكم الجديد? Where is your new house? أين بيتكم الجديد? Where is your new house? In this setup we have mudaf, mudaf ilayhi. Mudaf, mudaf ilayhi. Whenever you are going to describe the mudaf or the mudaf ilayhi, the na'at is going to come after. You can't break up the setup and put the na'at in the middle so that it follows the mudaf. If you are describing the mudaf, you can't break it up. you have to bring the na'at after. So al-jadidu is the na'at for bayt. Al-jadidu is the na'at for bayt, and we know that this is the na'at for bayt because bayt is marfu' and al-jadid is marfu'. Someone might ask, al-jadid has alif lam, so it's ma'rifah. Why is bayt ma'rifah? Because we have to have a ma'rifah na'at for a ma'rifah man'ut. The man'ut also has to be ma'rifah. So how is bayt ma'rifah? We did mention in one of the lessons that whenever you make a noun mudaf to something which is ma'rifah, it also becomes ma'rifah. So here it's mudaf to a dhamir. And we did mention that all the dhamair, all pronouns are ma'rifah. All pronouns, whether they're muttasil, munfasil, they're all ma'rifah. So in this case, this is also going to be ma'rifah. So bayt is ma'rifah because it's mudaf to ma'rifah. Al-jadid is ma'rifah because it has alif lam. One of them says, Baytuna, our house, Baytuna al-jadidu, our new house, Qaribun min al-matari. Al-matar is airport. Our new house is close to the matar. Qarib, the word qarib, when you want to express the meaning of close to, it comes with min after it, the harf jar min. Qaribun min. Something that you have to memorize, yeah? Qaribun min usually comes with min after it. Qaribun min, close to. And ba'id, far from, comes with ba'idun an. So we have qarib, qaribun min, and ba'id comes with an, both harf jar. Far from, close to. Something that you have to memorize. Ba'idun an, qaribun min. Close to, ba'idun an, far from. Baytuna al-jadidu qaribun min al-matar. Our new house is close to the airport. أأنتم في المدرسة الثانوية? Are you all in secondary school? أحدهم لا نحن بالجامعة. No, we are at university. نحن بالجامعة. We are at university. أنا في كلية الهندسة. The word كلية means faculty or department. أنا في كلية الهندسة. مضاف مضاف إليه. I am in the department or faculty of Handasa. Handasa is engineering. So the muhandis, this is where he graduates. أنا في كلية الهندسة. I am in the faculty of engineering. ومحمود في كلية الطب. And Mahmoud is in the faculty of طب, medicine. طبيب graduates from this faculty. وإبراهيم في كلية الشريعة. And Ibrahim is in the faculty of Sharia. Sharia is law. Ibrahim is in the كلية of Sharia. ويوسف في كلية التجارة. And Yusuf is in the department of commerce. التجارة is commerce. So the tajir graduates from here. The qadi, the judge, graduates from كلية الشريعة. And the tabib graduates from كلية الطب. And the muhandis, handasa. Hamid says, من ذلك الفتى الذي في سيارتكم? في سيارتكم. Who is that young boy who is in your car? Mahmoud says, هو زميلي. So Mahmoud is the name of one of the al-fitya. One of the fitya is called Mahmoud. So he speaks. He says in this case, هو زميلي. He is my colleague. Hamid then asks Mahmoud, من أين هو? Where is he from? من أين هو? Where is he from? Mahmoud, هو من إنكلترا. هو من إنكلترا. He is from England. Hamid asks, ما اسمه? ما اسمه? What's his name? Mahmoud says, اسمه William. اسمه William. His name is William. Hamid asks, أمسلم هو? أمسلم هو? Is he a Muslim? Is he a Muslim? Notice how he didn't say أهو مسلم. He didn't say أهو مسلم. He said أمسلم هو. Is he a Muslim? In English we translate it the same, but in Arabic This setup is more eloquent than saying ahuwa muslimun. And the reason why this is more eloquent is because when you're asking questions, so we could have said ahuwa muslimun or a muslimun huwa. Both in English we translate is he Muslim, is he Muslim. But in Arabic we're saying that this is more eloquent than this. Although both are correct, this is more eloquent. The reason why this is more eloquent is because when you're asking question, you give more emphasis to the thing that you want to find out. And how do you give it emphasis? You give it emphasis by bringing it forward. You bring the part that you're unsure of forward in your question. And by doing this, you're giving it more emphasis. So another example, for example, if I was to ask people, a group of young men maybe, so I want to know, did they go to the hospital? Would I say, أذهبتم إلى المستشفى? Or would I say, إلى المستشفى ذهبتم? Which one would I say? I would say أذهبتم إلى المستشفى or إلى المستشفى ذهبتم. Which one would I use? I know they went, but I want to know, did they go to the mustashfa? So this is the part that I need to give emphasis to. If I want to give emphasis to this, I bring it forward. So this is more eloquent. This is more eloquent than this in this case. But if, for example, I knew that they went to the mustashfa, I know that's where they're going, that's their end destination, but I want to know, did they go or not? This would be more eloquent in that case, because I give emphasis to this. أذهبتم إلى المستشفى? Did you go then to the hospital? So I give emphasis to this. But in the case where I didn't know whether they went to the mustashfa or not, but I know they went, then this is more eloquent. So giving emphasis to the part that you're unsure of most by bringing it forward, this is more eloquent when asking questions. So this is why he said, a Muslimun huwa? Is he a Muslim? Mahmoud says, La, he's not a Muslim. Huwa Nasraniyun. Huwa Nasraniyun. He is a Christian. Nasraniyun is a Christian. Abuhu Ustadi. His father is my teacher. Abuhu Ustadi. His father is my teacher. Ismuhu الدكتور إدوارد. اسمه الدكتور إدوارد. His name is Dr. Edward. His name is Dr. Edward. يهديهما الله إلى الإسلام. يهديهما الله إلى الإسلام. This is a dua. May Allah guide the both of them. Hima is a dhamir that he's not teaching us this dhamir here. It's going to come inshallah when he teaches the dual pronouns, but hima is basically, so that's like we have who, then we have huma. So we have who, huma, and then hum, referring to males. 1, 2, more than 2. So baytuhu, baytuhuma, baytuhum, baytuhum. So we did mention that these dhama'ir, they are mabni, yeah? They're fixed. They're fixed on dhamma in all cases, except if the letter before here is a ya sakina, or the letter before the ha has a kasra. If the letter before is either a ya sakina or kasra, then this is not going to take a dhamma normal, it's going to take a kasra. It's going to be, for example, fihi, baytihi, and the same here. Fihima, baytihima, fihim, baytihim. Yeah? So in this case, it's taking a kasra. Huma is taking a kasra, it's becoming hima because yahdi, the ya has a sukun. Yeah? Yahdihima. Yahdi is fi'l mudari', present tense verb, and it can also mean future. Yahdihim Allahu. So hima now is maf'ul, is the object. It's being brought forward because it's a dhamir. When it comes to the dhamir, just like shafahu Allah, same thing here. Yahdihima, may Allah guide the both of them. And the Allah who's the fa'il, may Allah guide the both of them to Islam, ila al-Islam. May Allah guide both of them to Islam. The William and his father, Dr. Edward. Hamid, أذهبتم إلى المستشفى. أذهبتم إلى المستشفى. Did you all go to the hospital? So ذهبتم is the muttasil version of أنتم. So أنتم, we have kum and we have tum. Okay, kum is the same as tum, except that kum is used when it's mansub, for the mansub version, or majrur, when you're representing a noun. So dhama'ir, the pronouns, they come to replace nouns. So the noun that you're placing, if it's marfu', you're going to use this one. You're going to use this one, because these ones, they come as fa'il. They come as fa'il. Fa'il is marfu', right? Whenever you're replacing a noun which is marfu', you're going to use this form. Whenever you're going to replace a noun which is majrur or mansub, you're going to use this form. This can be confusing sometimes. Kum, tum means the same thing. These are both muttasil versions, but the difference is in i'rab. This is for when it's majrur and when it's mansub, and this is for when it's marfu'. So that's why we have this form here, because we have fi'l and fa'il. So fa'il is always marfu'. That's why we don't say adhahabkum. We don't say adhahabkum to represent antum. The muttasil version of antum, in this case, we don't use kum. We use tum. Why don't we use kum? Adhahabkum. Because kum is only used when it's majrur or when it's mansub. Here it's marfu' because it's coming as fa'il. When it's coming as fa'il, we use tum. And the same for anta. When we say adhahabka, we don't say adhahabka, we say adhahabta. We have a ta. We have the marfu' version is anta, adhahabta. We don't say adhahabka, because the kaf versions, they come when it's majrur or mansub. And the same for adhahabki, we say adhahabti. Kunna, we say tunna. Okay, inshallah, we're gonna write this neatly, inshallah, later on. Maybe next lesson or so. طيب. So adhahabtum, did you all go? Tum here is coming as fa'il. Tum is coming as fa'il. Dhahaba is the fi'l. Adhahabtum, did you all go to the hospital? Ila al-mustashfa. Why are we going to the hospital? Why are they going to the hospital? Li ziyarati ammikum al-yawm. Ziyarati means visiting. Visiting. Li is a harf jar. In this case, it comes for showing not possession, but showing reason. Showing reason behind them going to the hospital. What's the reason for them going to the hospital? Ziyara, for visiting, for the sake of visiting. So lam, the harf jar, comes for different meanings. Sometimes it can come to show possession. هذا القلم li Muhammadin. This pen belongs to Muhammad. And sometimes, as we're learning here, it can come to show reason. ذهبت إلى المستشفى لزيارة عمي. I went to the hospital to visit my uncle. So here it's coming for reasoning. The reason why they went was to visit. In all cases, it's a harf jar, so that's why this ends with a kasra. زيارة عمكم. Did you go to the hospital to visit? زيارة عمكم, and it's مضاف مضاف إليه. So مضاف مضاف إليه, and then the عم is مضاف and the kum is مضاف إليه. لزيارة عمكم اليوم. Today, did you all go to the hospital to visit your uncle today? Yusuf says, نعم ذهبنا. Yes, we went. ذهبنا means we went. So na. This na is going to remain na. It's going to be the same. Notice how we mentioned here, kum is if it's majrur or mansub. Tum is if it's marfu'. With na, it's always going to be na in all cases. It's going to be na used when it's majrur, na when it's mansub, na when it's marfu'. So na is not going to be changing. The muttasil version of nahnu is just one for all cases. طيب. So we've read the passage. The only thing that we haven't explained from the passage is these words here. Why are they ending with one dhamma? Ibrahimu, Yusufu, and then we have here Williamu and Edwardu. Okay, these words, these nouns, they are mamnu' min as-sarf. They are mamnu' min as-sarf, and they are mamnu' min as-sarf for two reasons. These are two new reasons. The first reason is because they are alam. Alamun. What's alam? Alam is a proper noun. Remember we mentioned previously, proper nouns, they are mamnu' min as-sarf if they are mu'annath, if they are feminine. So 2 reasons. Alam, mu'annath. Likewise here, they have to be alam and they have to be a'jami. A'jamiyun. A'jamiyun means foreign. Foreign. Non-Arabic. Okay. Non-Arabic, foreign or non-Arabic proper nouns are mamnu' min as-sarf. 2 reasons. Alam, a'jami. Someone might say, Ibrahim and Yusuf, they are names of the prophets. Yes, they are names of the prophets, but these names and the names of most of the prophets, in fact, are non-Arabic names. The names of most of the prophets in the Quran, they are non-Arabic names. They are non-Arabic names. It's only a few, like Muhammadun and Salihun, which are actually Arabic names. So this is another reason why a word is mamnu' min as-sarf. If it's alam, it's a proper noun, and it's a'jami, and it's foreign, then it's going to be mamnu' min as-sarf. So we understand why Edwardu and Giorgio and Edwardu Williamu and Ibrahim and Yusuf are all mamnu' min as-sarf. Okay, so these are all of the rules that were covered in this lesson. So let's set the homework. تمارين, exercises. أجب عن الأسئلة الآتية. Answer the following questions. So you're going to answer the following questions as though you are a group of people speaking, a group of young lads speaking. Man antum. So you would answer as though you're a group of people, not ana. You'd say nahnu. Man antum, nahnu كذا وكذا. We are. أين بيتكم? Where's your house? بيتنا. Man rabbukum? Rabbuna, and so on. You're going to answer from yourselves as though you are speaking on behalf of a group. So there's a group of you and one of you is going to be answering, and that person is you until the end. اقرأ واكتب. So this is a reading and writing exercise. Then we have أضف الأسماء الآتية إلى الضمائر كما هو موضح في المثال. Do إضافة. أضف means ascribe or do إضافة of the following nouns to the pronouns as is illustrated in the example. So we have بيت, بيتكم. So he did إضافة to kum. بيتنا, to na. So kum and na. We're doing kum and na now. We have to make these words mudaf to kum, which means antum, and na, which is the muttasil version of nahnu. طيب. اقرأ. So the reading here is أي. أي didn't come in the passage. أي didn't come in the passage. That's why we did not explain it. It came in the reading exercise here. في أي. في أي. Okay, the special thing about أي, which means which, أي means which. It's a اسم الاستفهام. اسم الاستفهام. اسم الاستفهام. اسم الاستفهام. It's a interrogative noun. The special thing about أي is that all interrogative nouns we mentioned, they are all mabni. Mabniyun. They are all fixed. All of them except for A. A is the only exception now. The only exception has come. So all of the interrogative pronouns, man, ma, ماذا, أين, كيف, all of them are mabni, with the exception of A. A is the only interrogative noun in the Arabic language that is mu'rab, meaning that its ending changes. So it can be ayu, ayyi, ayya, depending on the sentence. So that's the first characteristic of A. That's the first speciality or attribute of A. The second is that A is always going to be mudaf. So it's going to come, it's going to be mu'rab, ayu, ayyi, ayya, and it's always going to be mudaf. So the word after is going to be mudaf ilayhi, ending with kasra or kasratain. Okay. So here we have أي يوم هذا. Which day is this? أي يوم مضاف مضاف إليه مضاف مضاف إليه مضاف مضاف إليه. Whenever it comes, yeah. So this is just a reading exercise. Inshallah, try to do it on your own before we do it together next lesson. اقرأ واكتب. Read and write. So here he's going to teach you all of these that they are mamnu' min as-sarf. And the reason why all of these are mamnu' min as-sarf is because they are alam a'jamiyun, foreign proper noun, foreign, and they are proper nouns. They are all mamnu' min as-sarf because of those two reasons. اقرأ المثال ثم حول الجمل الآتية مثله. Read the example and then change the following sentences, making them similar to it. So here, أنت ذهبت إلى المدرسة. You went to the school. So here we said أنت. Remember we mentioned that the muttasil version of أنت is ka, right? So why is he saying ذهبت? He's using ذهبت. The reason why he's using ذهبت and not ذهبك is because this is marfu' now. The dhamir is standing in the place of fa'il. Fa'il is marfu'. So we don't use kaf. The kaf, muttasil version that we learned in the lesson, is only used if it's replacing a majroor or mansub noun. That's when we use it. Anta dhahabta. So ta is the fa'il in this case, fi'il fa'il. So the example has changed anta to the pronoun version of antum, and dhahabta, dhahabtum. Antum dhahabtum ila al-madrasah. So you need to do the same thing here. Change it to the plural forms. You all went to the madrasa. Al-kalimat al-jadida, the new words. Al-hafid, grandson. Al-hafid is grandson. Ibnul ibn. Ibnul ibn, the son of the son, yani grandson. Or the son of the daughter. Grandchild from either the son or grandchild from either the daughter is al-hafid, grandchild, grandson in this case. The plural is hafadatun. Hafadatun is grandchildren, grandchildren. Al-kulliyatu, faculty. Kulliyatun. Al-kulliya, kulliyatun. Kulliya, faculty, faculties. Kulliyatu sharia, the faculty of sharia. The faculty of tijara. Tijara is commerce. Kulliyatu tib, the faculty of medicine. Kulliyatul handasa, the faculty of engineering. Al-mahkamatu. Al-mahkamatu is going to come in the reading exercise, is courthouse. Al-mahkamatu is courthouse. Al-akh, the brother. Ikhwatun wa ikhwanun, plural, ikhwa and ikhwan. He's given you the second plural here. Ikhwatun came previously. Ikhwanun is another plural for akh. Ahlan wa sahlan wa marhaban, all words of welcoming. Nasraniyun is one Christian. The plural is Nasara, Christians. Nasrani, a Christian. Nasara, Christians. Al-Yunanu is Greece. Al-Yunan is Greece. Al-Balad, country or land. Biladun, lands or countries. Al-Balad, land, countries. طيب, so this is today's lesson. سبحانك اللهم بحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.